Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Hello, Essence Fest, Books Festival stage. How we feeling? Good. I'm so excited to be here today for the Braided Beauties Rooted in Pride conversation with
Yes.
Jaylene Clark Owens.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. You may know her or have heard her viral poem slash song, A Black Girl in Her Braids.
A black girl in her braids. Can't tell her nothing. Please don't touch it. You know she looks
Hey.
amazing.
Okay. Yes. You know, you think we're calm over here in the book section, but we're having a little bit of fun too. So I love that. Yes, but it's lovely to be with you today.
Same here.
Loving all the purple. Looking
you.
amazing.
Thank you.
Yes. So obviously, before your viral moment with this song, this poem, you were an actress first. You've been on everything from Law and Order to Albie's Elevator, which is a children's television show. You've been doing incredible work, but walk me back to younger you. Think back to your early beauty memories, hair memories. What was little Jaylene up to, thinking, etc.?
Little Jaylene would always get her hair braided by her mom. So my mother, Evelyn Clark, she would always braid my hair in cornrows and put barrettes and things like that in my hair. And so that's what I grew up. That's what I grew up having. That's how I grew up having my hair styled. Eventually, I got extensions, as I got a little older. But braids have been literally a part of my life since I was very small. And I've always loved doing hair as well. I used to want to be a hairdresser when I was little. So I don't do hair now, but now a lot of my work, my artistic practice is talking about hair. So it all came together.
Yes, absolutely. And then tell us a little bit how you got into acting before we get into your wonderful book and the poem as well. What about your acting journey?
Yes, I have been acting since 5th grade. It is certainly a passion of mine. I went to Ithaca College for my BFA in acting with a minor in writing. And I am currently a company member at the Wilma Theater in Philadelphia. And yes, I am an actress of the stage, film, and television. And acting is truly, truly my passion. And I'm blessed to be able to incorporate that into my poetry because spoken word poetry is performance poetry. So it serves me well and definitely serves me as an author because then when I can get up and do this and it's like, yeah, I know this is familiar being on a stage. So it's truly a blessing that all of these things get to come together in this way.
Absolutely. I feel like that makes a lot of sense because spoken word is such a vulnerable craft. I mean, all art is, but really just putting your own stories and personal experiences out there. So I could see how that lends well to everything else you're doing. Absolutely. And then, yes, so tell me about A Black Girl and Her Braids. First, the poem, where you were in life when you wrote that. Was it kind of like, did it just come to you? Did you sit down and write it? Or what was the process there?
Yes, so in 2021, July of 2021, I was visiting one of my best friends, Hollis Heath. She was living in LA at the time, and as many black girls do, I got my vacation braids, some medium knotless braids, and I went out there and we were frolicking around taking photos, and I just felt really good. Many black girls know when you get your hair done, you feel you know what I'm saying with the braids. Yes, when you get the fresh braids, you feel good. And so I said, you know what, being that I'm a poet, I was like, I want to capture this feeling in a poem. And literally while I was sitting at her house, the tune, A Black Girl in Her Braids, A Black Girl in Her Braids, came to me. I recorded it on my iPhone and I said, all right, when I get back home, I'm going to do a poem about this. And at that time, the Crown Act had just came out in 2019. So I said I want to incorporate information about that because a lot of my poetry is social justice forward. And so I did that. I created a video for it because I said people need to see it. And I put it online and it went viral. Thousands of black women began uploading videos using my audio and celebrating their braids. And that was amazing. And so 2 years later in 2023, I said, why don't I turn the poem into a picture book because there were so many little black girls celebrating their hair. And I have my two babies, my goddaughters, my niece, Amani and Amelia. I wanted to create something that spoke life into them. The book is dedicated to them. And so all the things came together, and I pitched a black girl in her braids, and here we are.
I love it. Beautiful. Actually, hold that book up really
Yes.
quickly. It's so
Yes.
beautiful.
Illustrated by the incredible Brittany Bond. She did an amazing job with these illustrations in here. You have braids of all sizes and characters of all ages represented in this book.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something I feel like me now gravitates towards. Like, I would enjoy reading this, but also younger me, I feel like, would have really loved to see something like that. I'll have to grab a copy for my
Yes.
nieces for you to sign for sure
Yes.
after this. But yes, this is incredible. So tell me about why it's so important for you to talk about kind of the range when it comes to Black women's beauty. You know, we can rock everything from cornrows to box braids to our fro, whatever it is. I feel like you depict that so well, and that messaging for young girls. Why is that so important to you to do?
Yes, I think that is important because representation for our children is always urgent and necessary. And so it is very important that our little ones see themselves reflected in literature and media. And so I'm very grateful that I get to contribute to that conversation. And in a world where you do have children being sent home because of their hair, being sent home from school, teachers telling them that the way your hair naturally grows out of your head is not part of our grooming policy. Like, no child should ever have to go through that. So I feel like work like this is very important to consistently affirm our children and let them know that their hair is unique and special. And that is literally one of the lines in the book. And that's what I always like to emphasize when I do my author visits and things like that.
Yes, I love that. That's beautiful. And is this your first children's book or first book in general?
This is my first children's book. This is my first traditionally published book. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Clap it up for that. That's amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. It has been a whirlwind. This book was published on January 6th of this year. So to be here now at Essence a few months later, this Essence Fest was literally on my vision board a year ago. I put Essence Festival of Culture on there. So to be here is absolutely incredible.
Yes.
So thank you for this, because it means so much to be amongst my people and celebrated by my people. It's a beautiful thing.
Always, absolutely. And you manifested that, and we're equally as honored that you're here with us today. But this being your first book, tell me about maybe some hurdles you faced along the way when it came to the publishing process, or any challenges as a first-time book author that you've learned for going forward.
I think learning on the fly can be very difficult. You don't know what you don't know till you don't know it. And so I have had to adapt in the moment. I think this industry is ever changing, and you have to be ready to just pivot if necessary. But thankfully, again, like I said, being an actress, hey, we know about improvisation. We know about the show must go on. So I have been able to adapt in situations where maybe things may be a little frazzled, but hopefully the audience doesn't know, and I just, we work it out. We work it out backstage. And being traditionally published, I think I've learned that you still have to create the opportunities. Yes, it's amazing to have a publisher such as Penguin Random House behind me, but that doesn't mean you just sit back and the opportunities just come for you. I still have to be out there pitching my story, making connections, and so that's what I'm doing, and I'm learning more and more each day how to do that.
Yes, absolutely. The power of pivoting, learning on the fly, and just going with the punches, absolutely. And then, okay, so I'm seeing a theme of purple, gorgeous purple, which is one of my favorite colors. Tell me about that, because I feel like you're decked out in purple. The book has themes of purple. Is there any story there?
I just love purple and pink. I have always loved purple and pink, literally in high school. Me and two of my friends, we called ourselves the Three Pink Mafia. As I got older, I had a podcast called Papa Pink with my friend and fellow theater maker, Justin Jane. So I just love it. I just love pink and purple. It's very girly. It's very royal. It pops on my skin. So I made sure that Brittany incorporated lots of pink and purple into here, and she did a beautiful job doing that.
I love it. Gorgeous. And then, as we know, there's still places in the US today that are banning young girls, young people in general, from wearing certain natural styles to school. And that's why things like the Crown Act exists to push past against that. And I know you've been an advocate for the Crown Act as well.
Yes.
Tell me about that and why that organization is important to you to work with.
Yes, I'm going to the page that has it.
Yes.
So here, our little girl is holding a sign that says "Support the Crown Act," encouraging kids to know that hey, you're never too young to advocate for justice and fair practices. And the Crown Act is a law that protects us and allows us to wear our hair in natural styles at work and at school. And so I just wanted to spread that message because it's still not passed in all 50 states. So we still have work to do. And so I think putting that in here was important because little kids, they can understand hard conversations if you just explain it to them. And I have had the pleasure of initiating conversation on school visits. Some children didn't know. Like when I get to the page where it says, my friend can't wear locks and braids at her school, they're like, why would they not want her to wear her hair? They have questions about that. And they, at that young age, they know that that's not right. And so I'm happy to be able to use this work to talk about hair discrimination and hopefully prevent it from happening in young people. And hopefully they'll be able to identify it if they hear someone else making fun of someone because of their hair. They'll have a little language to combat that.
Yes, absolutely. And off of that, I'm curious, what's an affirmation that you would tell younger girls or even the parents with younger kids who might be facing discrimination or even bullying when it comes to their hair? What's something you would say to both the kids and the parents to help them get through that period?
I think reminding them, like I said, the line in here that says, my hair is unique and special. Because I think it's important that kids know that. You may hear other things. People may try to tell you something different, that your hair needs to be changed, that it needs to be, you need to fit into a certain aesthetic. And no, your hair is unique. It is special. And another line here, it says, I should be accepted everywhere. And I always have the kids repeat that when we get there. And that is what I want them to know. You should be accepted in every room that you are in. Shine, continue to shine. Your hair is unique and special, and I think that's just something that kids should be reminded of always.
Yes, absolutely. I love that. I'm putting those into my arsenal for my morning affirmations as well. So thank you. But that also brings me to, obviously, you are just so confident, or you come off that way. I'm sure it's not always easy. But tell me about that journey. Were you always confident growing up? If not, what helped you get to the place you are in terms of loving yourself, owning your hair, and all the things?
Thankfully, I was raised in a household that always affirmed my beauty. But, being a kid, sometimes you may feel a little self-conscious, feel like you have to adapt to other things. So I remember once I felt like I grew out of getting my hair cornrowed by my mom, I felt the only other option really was getting my hair straightened. Literally, the thought did not come to my mind, like, you can just wear your hair out in a fro. You can do a twist style. At that time, the natural hair movement wasn't really popping the way it is now. And so I wish that I had books like this as a child, because it's important to just for kids to know that there are so many styles that you can do with your hair. And thankfully now, because of the internet, kids they see a lot of different examples, and they can experiment, they can do tutorials. But yeah, growing up, I wanted to, if I could do it again, I would have never straightened my hair. Because it wasn't that I wanted to straighten my hair because I felt like the hair that I had, I don't know. I felt like I outgrew it, and I didn't see many possibilities of what to do with my hair. And so I'm trying to encourage kids now, like, your hair is beautiful. There are so many things you can do. You mentioned earlier about how we wear our hair in different styles. One of my poems, The Black Girl and Her Switch Up, which just talks about how, like, we can do many different styles. We can have a fro, we can have it braided, we can wear a lace front. All of those things are wonderful, as long as you remember that the way your hair grows out of your hair is beautiful. And so if once you have that as a foundation, we can switch it up however way we want. Okay?
Yes, I love that point. Having that foundation, and from there, you can just enjoy exploring things even more. So I love that, absolutely. And speaking of switching it up, tell me about maybe a style that you want to try next, or even your go-to styles. Tell me a little bit about your own hair approach.
I mean, this hairstyle, the extra small knotless braids, is one of my favorite hairstyles to get.
Super cute.
Because it's so versatile. But I also really love, like, the braided ballsy. I had the privilege of getting that done by Tuki Did It in California. And I love a nice finger wave updo into a petal bun with the braids. I got that done in Brooklyn by Helena, who goes by Slade in Braids on Instagram.
That's my braider too. Shout out
Look
to
at
Helena.
that. Yes, Helena.
Yes.
She's incredible.
Amazing.
So yeah, those are some of my favorite styles to do.
Okay, I love that. I love that. Yes, Helena's amazing. She did a lot of the ladies here for Essence Fest that I've spoken to. So
Oh,
yeah,
that's amazing.
I love that. She's killing it. Yes, yes, amazing. And then, on a similar note, tell me a little bit about self-care for you as a busy entrepreneur, author, actress, poet, all the things. And how are you pouring into yourself on a daily?
I love a good massage. I love a good massage. I will need one when I get back. A lot of walking in this convention center. So I love massages, and I love just hanging with my friends. Shout out to my friends. I have friends in the building right now who have been helping me during this weekend, and so being able to spend time with them, and it's truly a remarkable thing. And we need that. We need the love of our sisters, and so that is something that I have, and that's something that I like to do. And then I love to dance. I love to dance. So any opportunity to do that, that is self-care for me.
Oh, yes. So it sounds like we're going to be besties because love friends, love to dance, I love braids. Like, what else do we need? Yes, I love it. I love it. Amazing. And then actually, I'm curious too, with a background as a poet, what were some of the differences when it came to writing a book that felt different from poetry, or did it feel innate for you and natural?
It did feel innate and natural. It was just a matter of make sure this is something that little ones can understand. So maybe make it a little simpler, say it in maybe fewer words, but it felt very natural to adapt the original poem into book form. And then I have an amazing editor, Tiana Combs, so she helped me make sure that it was, it fit into the book. You got to have certain word counts and the spacing and all of that, but it felt very natural to transform the original poem into this book because this is still a poem. This is literally still a spoken word poem, just in book form.
I love that. It's so transferable, I feel like poetry is, and that's amazing. So would love to hear, you're from New York originally.
Yes, I am originally from Harlem, New York. Yes, Nixon 5.
Hey, New York is in the building. I love it. I love it. Tell me about growing up there and how that has shaped your outlook when it comes to beauty and your inspirations and all that, because New York is really the mecca.
Yes, I mean, come on, it's Harlem. We are home of the Harlem Renaissance, okay? And there's so much culture there. Going every year to Harlem Week, you see so many different styles, and literally I had to make sure I put this in the book because growing up in Harlem, you would get your hair braided on 125th. That is a staple, okay? So I made sure you had the representation of the African Hair Braiding Salon in the book. That was very important to me. I remember sitting in there for hours, okay, and getting my hair braided. So Yeah, I think you see so much representation of different hairstyles in Harlem, and so that certainly contributed to my hair journey. So yeah,
I love it. This is amazing. I'm
thank
so
you.
excited to dive in. And also, I'm curious what's next maybe for this book. I just feel like I could see a show or
Yes,
something.
I would love a little animated series or something like that. But definitely continuing to speak to children, doing author visits, that is very important for me. And continuing on in the series, making this a series. A Black Girl in Her Braids is part of a EP that I created called A Black Girl in Her Hair. It features poems for braids, locks, twists, fro, and switch up. And so ideally, I would like to do a few more books inspired by that EP. So we might have something in the works. So just stay tuned. Stay
Yes.
tuned.
Well, I'm locked in. I'm staying tuned for sure because this is incredible. To close out, I would love to hear, who are you inspired by in terms of like their hair? Who do you look up to? Or who do you want to give your flowers to?
Oh goodness. You know what? Especially since I just saw her last night, I'm gonna shout out Brandy because for many black girls, that was the original Black Girl in Her Braids. Brandy was wearing them braids. What you said? Yes, Moesha. Listen, Moesha is on in my house every day to this day. So I would love to shout out Brandy because she certainly provided lots of representation for black girls and their braids growing up.
Yes, absolutely. That's a great one. And last night she did something so different with the blonde.
Yes.
Yeah, so I
Yes.
love to see that. The girls trying different things, all the things. But you're amazing. I
Thank
could
you. So
chat
are
all
you.
day. Oh, thank you. Just excited to dive in here. And thank you so much for your time and sharing your story. And thank you, everyone here, for tuning in today.
Thank you.
Appreciate y'all.
Please feel free to follow me. My friends have postcards. They'll be handing them out. I'm online. I have these shirts. These are part of my brand, A Black Girl in Her Braids. You can get them online. And please feel free to come over and say hello to me.
Yes, I need the shirt and the earrings, actually.
Yes.
Thank y'all. Yes. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Just